The mahogany door creaked shut behind me, sealing me within the echoing weight of Maci Jast's mansion. Its grandeur was suffocating, a gilded cage of priceless antiques and unsettling portraits that watched me with hollow eyes. Dust motes danced in the sickly sweet air, swirling like lost souls clinging to this place. "Atmospheric, isn't it?" Judge Judy Olson said, her voice dripping with mock appreciation. She was a hurricane in a tailored suit, all sharp angles and quips. I knew she wasn't much for sentimental rubbish, so when she called the mansion atmospheric, you knew things were about to get interesting. "More like tomb-like," I muttered, wringing my hands. My inheritance was proving to be more of a curse than a blessing. Not just because of the looming legend of the Jast Curse, each new owner met with an untimely demise, but because I, Heath Gleason, struggling artist with more insecurities than talent, had somehow ended up inheriting this palace of secrets. I'd convinced Judge Olson, a retired legal eagle with a keen eye for the peculiar, to lend me her mordant expertise. "She vanished without a trace, you know," I said, gesturing at a faded portrait of Maci Jast. Her painted gaze seemed to follow me. Art collector, recluse, mistress of the macabre. Some say she cursed this place before her disappearance. "A wild goose chase," Judge Olson scoffed. "Probably just a disgruntled husband, or an ill-advised art acquisition." But even she didn't seem entirely convinced. Neither was Charles, my old college pal and current resident historian. "There's something about this house," he'd said, practically shrinking into his own shadow as we explored the sprawling library. A silence, like secrets are holding their breath. The mansion became our labyrinth, filled with cryptic clues hidden within Maci's work. Strange paintings, distorted landscapes, portraits with unsettling gazes. Charles, bless his nervous soul, immersed himself in Maci's journals, deciphering her bizarre scribblings about capturing the essence of misfortune. Judge Olson, meanwhile, challenged every assumption, her gaze piercing through the dust and decay, seeking the truth. She'd discovered a locked diary hidden inside a complex sculpture, and as she read aloud its chilling contents, I felt a prickle of fear down my spine. Mayek's obsession wasn't with art, it seemed, but with capturing the moments of tragedy, weaving them into her grotesque creations. And then there was a message, a coded one, hidden in a series of paintings depicting macabre scenarios. It led Charles to a painting of macabre beauty, the disguised heart. It was missing from Maci's collection. "It's a clue!" Charles exclaimed, his eyes wide with a mixture of excitement and fear. Maci spoke of a heart, disguised, a key to her deepest secrets. He sought the missing heart piece, driven by conviction, but his search ended tragically. He stumbled into a hidden passage, triggering a secret trap. He lay bleeding on the cold stone floor, clutching a tiny piece of the missing painting, a heart-shaped locket. My world spun, the air thick with the scent of metal and fear. Judge Olson, in her unwavering composure, fought to save him, tears welling in her eyes. As she held the locket, she found a hidden compartment containing a faded photograph. Maci Jast, ever so young, smiling radiantly. Beside her, a young Charles and his great-aunt Lily. There, I saw a flicker of understanding in Judge Olson's eyes. "It's not a curse," she whispered, her voice taut. "It's a game. A twisted game of manipulation and revenge. She used her art to lure victims, to make them feel connected to the mystery. And the missing pieces, they were not mere art, they were tokens of her victims, proof of her power." She held up the locket, her voice echoing in the cavernous space. "Maci did not die. She faked her death and hid in plain sight, collecting stolen lives and the secrets they held." Charles, eyes growing dim, whispered, "Great-aunt Lily. She disappeared years ago." "He's right," Judge Olson continued, her voice hard now. "I believe Maci took her, just like she took so many others." Charles breathed his last, the chilling confession hanging in the air. I stared at the twisted genius of Maci Jast, the mastermind of a game that spanned decades, a collector of secrets, a sculptor of suffering. The mansion itself seemed to sigh, a tangible weight of shadows and sorrow. It was not just a curse, but a legacy of deceit, a macabre masterpiece that would forever stain its walls. Later, as the sirens wailed in the distance, I stood amidst the chaos, the echo of the curse fading into the darkness. I caught Judge Olson's eye, and for a moment we shared a grim understanding. We had unmasked the monster, but her twisted legacy remained. Had we truly broken the curse, or had we simply become players in a game we could never truly win?